Hey everyone, this is Barb. Welcome back to the Pink Radish Vegan Kitchen. I have a surprise for you today. It's one of my all-time favorite recipes that I just had to share with you. It's lentil pate. When I was a meat eater, I used to love eating pates, but not so good for you, and I don't eat meat anymore, so I had to find a substitute. So hang with me here and let's get cooking. One of my subscribers asked me if I would do the lentil pate recipe. So Leona, this is for you. Here are the brown lentils in the pan, little thyme, little salt, and that's how we get started. Boil those up till they get nice and soft. Not mushy though. And then we're going to roast some pecans and throw those into the food processor because those are a really important part of adding that earthy flavor and even like a little texture, a little crunch. It's not so big, but it's there. It's in the background. And then the other really huge flavor ingredients are mushrooms and garlic. I also added some shallots to this. And you give them a good brown because you see that brown stuff on the pan? That's called fawn. And that really helps to heighten the flavor. That brown equals flavor. And to deglaze the pan, we used a little bit of sherry. Now, if you don't want to use alcohol in your food, feel free to use soy sauce or a little miso and water. It'll do the same thing. Here's how I like to buy my fresh herbs. These are the ones I use the most. It's thyme, sage, and rosemary. And it's called the poultry seasoning blend. That way you're not buying each individual herb because I can't use them fast enough sometimes before they go bad. All right, here's my pate dish. I made this. I was at my friend Teresa's house and she had a pottery studio in her basement. Teresa's a fantastic potter, but she threw a hunk of clay down on the table. She goes, go ahead and make that pate dish you're always talking about. I just couldn't find the pate dish I wanted. So I took that clay and I scooped it out and I molded it and I did it all by hand. I'm so proud of my little kind of awkward pate dish, but there it is. And I love the sage green type of glaze that Teresa used on it for me, and she fired it up. So here it is. I've prepared the dish by adding saran wrap because in a little while I'll show you how we're going to pack it in there. All right, here it's all blended. The pecans, the mushrooms, the lentils, and I don't know about you, but come on, if you're a pate eater, doesn't this look like chicken liver pate? Now, I'm not trying to, fool anybody with the flavor. This has its own amazing, unique, delicious flavor. Vegan or not, remember people, food is food. It just needs to taste good. And you don't need to worry about if it's got meat or not meat. But I enjoy eating vegetables every time I can. Look at the texture of this. I mean, come on. This looks just like chicken liver pate. The color, the caramelization of the mushrooms, the brown lentils. Yeah, it works. And people will be fooled by this in terms of how it looks. So here it is. I scoop this into my pate dish and I'm going to fold that saran wrap up and around it. I'm going to leave this in the refrigerator for a few days because it gets better with age. So here it is already. Go in the refrigerator, and my husband and I, Steve, will eat this probably in a couple days, maybe out on the patio, maybe have a little martini with it, a few crackers. Yeah, we'll be loving that. Now, it makes good 2 cups, so you can see the dish in the back is full, and this is what's left over. And I don't have to wait a few days to eat this. I'll eat this for breakfast. I eat this making a sandwich out of it. It is so super yummy and good. You can eat it. It's very guilt-free. So don't be afraid to get in there and try this recipe. And the recipe will be below. There's another. Look at the texture and the color. Yeah, it's spot on. I got this recipe by just poking around on Pinterest. I think it was in the Washington Post is where it came from. Anyway, the link to the recipe will be below. I hope you go ahead and make it. It's not expensive to do either. If you got some mushrooms you need to use up, this is the deal. Look at it, the beauty shot. Who wouldn't love to just dive into that? Now, if you're a pate eater, you're going to want to do it. If you don't like pate, you'll be like, ugh, Barb, you kidding me? I could never eat that. but it is so yummy. It just makes my mouth water looking at it. And I've been eating it for a couple days. It took me a couple days to get this video up and going since I filmed it. But I love this recipe, and that's why I wanted to share it. So there's a little bit of a closer up, and I think you're going to just be really happy with the results. Let me know if you give it a try. Send me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. And Leona. Leona, thanks for asking me to film this. I just really appreciate your comments and your subscribing to my channel. Anyway, everyone, final beauty shot. I'll see you guys next week for another video. In the meantime, take care, eat your vegetables.